Credit Union Connection. I'm here live with Lee Brady from SECU in North Carolina. Welcome.
Thank you, Sarah.
We're coming to you live from the GAC 2025. How's the show been for you so far, Lee?
It's been great.
Yeah.
So I always view this as a time to connect with folks from all over the industry. And you get to very efficiently see them all in one location. and then we look forward to part of our group hike the hill today. I look forward to heading there tomorrow. So
Nice.
Obviously with a mission in mind.
What is your mission in mind that you
Avoid taxation, right?
Avoid, well, yeah.
That's the big one.
That's the big one.
Yeah, and really spread the good works about our credit union and how we positively impact North Carolina in so many ways.
Yeah. And like we were, I know a lot of the discussion at the Underground was about storytelling. And I remember Jim Blaine, previous CEO, a couple back, he said, we don't market. We don't market. I'm like, but you're storytelling by doing, building this housing for teachers, affordable housing for teachers, and all the things. That is your marketing, even if you're doing it not necessarily for that reason, but that's the brand. That is how you build your brand, to do the things rather than talk about the things, which you do need to tell the guys up on the hill.
Yes, we do. We've got impact reports and we are ready.
Nice. So you got data behind it.
We've got data. That same foundation that you talked about on the teacher housing just hit our 20th anniversary last year, $300 million in giving.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
It's great.
I can't believe I'm that old. Doing this that long.
Don't worry.
20 years ago. So you've been the CEO now 2 years?
Coming up on 2 years.
Coming up on 2
July,
years,
yeah.
right? How has it been? Is it everything you dreamed of? Because I know you were at the credit union for a long time. You're like,
yeah, I've been at the credit union over 37 years.
Yeah, you kind of knew the gig.
Yeah. In some ways it's been even better for me because I've been able to develop new relationships and I actually get out more to see our folks in the branches and the communities and see the really good works that we're doing. I love interacting with our members, with our volunteers, and seeing the impact that we have in North Carolina in such a positive way. So that part has been fun. Obviously, with the change going on in the financial services industry, that's not always so fun. I know. What happened this morning that I don't know about?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're doing a lot of technology upgrades, so it's really been fun. I've always said my mom, she passed away about 10 years ago, but she always said, leave something better than you found it. And I found a great organization, one that I love so incredibly. But we needed some technology upgrades along the way, and I'm happy to have that focus for us to do that and provide some things for our members that they've been asking for.
Actually, probably about 10 years ago, you gave my friend a job.
Oh.
I play volleyball with her up in Maryland, and she's like, I have this job I found. Should I go apply at SECU? I was like, yes, go do it now. So she's still there. Yeah.
Oh, good.
In your IT department.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So I know I mentioned Underground earlier, and you talked a little bit about your story, because it's not only your community that you're supporting, which you are. Yeah. You're supporting other communities and other credit unions.
We are.
Which is a great thing for 42 years, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. So talk about that mindset, because I feel like, and I don't think I'm alone in thinking that credit unions aren't as cooperative as they used to be.
No, they are not, and that's one of the things at Underground that I kind of mentioned, that I put out a challenge for credit unions, because we need to sustain smaller credit unions. We need to help them grow. And sometimes they're not able to do so from the regulation side. I mean, things are just, and the IT side. I mean, technology is just way too cumbersome for them to endure all of those things that they have to worry about. So I'd love for credit unions to step up. We did so, as you mentioned, 42 years ago, really in March of 1983, with the local government federal credit union, where back in the day they thought, oh, it's not a big deal to have local folks come in and be members of state employees. We can put them all together, and the banks weren't having that. And so, we helped to form local government federal credit union, but they used our branches. So we have all provided that bricks and mortar. We've provided the frontline staff, pretty much everything.
Wow.
Other than they did end up doing like the financials and stuff like that in the end. But at the beginning we did that too. So, and now they are going out on their own. We had a different model that started about 23 to 24 years ago with Latino Community Credit Union, where we worked with self-help and some other kind of groups in the area that serve the Latino community, and started that up. They had their own branch, and quite frankly, I mean, we all we had to do was the back office processing for them. You know, we did training. We gave them extra furniture that we had. I mean, the whole 9 yards.
Right, printers, all that
That's
stuff
right.
that you
But
need that you don't think about.
it helped to form that credit union, and they actually went out on their own last September, and 150,000 members now, over $1 billion in assets. Local is going out on their own June 1 of this year, and they have 400,000 members, $4 billion in assets, and these are not tiny credit unions
No,
by
not
any
anymore.
means. No,
They were.
So it's you know, it's wonderful. Let me tell you, our folks are going to miss the members of Local. They
Really?
are. Yeah, I mean, they have loved them and cared for them and served them. It didn't matter whether you're a state employees credit union member or a local member. You were a member, and that's the environment that we created, and I'm so proud of that.
Especially in North Carolina with all the big banks.
Absolutely.
All the big banks.
So we still serve North Carolina Press Association Federal Credit Union members in all of our branches, but they're a $9 million credit union,
Right.
very small, but we help sustain them. Our chief lending officer is also their CEO. So we serve them in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And then Greater Kinston Credit Union is the last historically African American credit union in North Carolina.
Wow.
They have their own branch, but we do all of their processing for them. We do a lot of training for them too, you know, helping them with board governance, stuff like that.
What size is that one?
They are a $14 million credit union. So,
Yeah.
you know, and we are looking to replace our core and getting that
Have fun.
started. I know.
My credit union switching in March.
Oh my, it's going to be a big deal. Obviously, the biggest project that our credit union really has ever had since the last core conversion 42 years
Wow,
ago,
yeah.
right? And you know, from that standpoint, as we were working to negotiate, something that's been really important to me is us having the capacity to serve small credit unions, to grow credit unions, whether that's through maybe a processing type thing, back office only, or maybe that's them coming into our branches. Once again, I want to pay that forward again. And I'd love for Latino and maybe Local to do that same thing.
Yeah.
In the end.
And you were talking about the few $100 million that that housing project for the teachers raised.
Oh, yeah.
But then all your other projects.
Oh yeah.
And your credit unions. And your credit unions projects. You know, so it definitely, you know, when you put good out, that's what comes out of it. You know,
the
you spread it.
recent example, Hurricane Helene, such an impactful event for Western North Carolina, and I mean we were on it immediately. So that weekend, right after that storm came in, I mean we were meeting as an exec team, and we had all the feelers out, and our foundation is in 3 phases, given almost $9 million to different nonprofits to help, whether it's housing, food, you know, just some basic shelters in the beginning, right? And so now it's rebuilding some of that, but it's been very impactful. All of our branches collected items from the community, and we got those where they needed to be. So it's from the cooperative standpoint. Suncoast lent us their mobile ATM.
Nice.
And we were able to also get cash to credit unions that couldn't get cash.
And you're all multi-billion-dollar credit unions still cooperating, still collaborating.
Absolutely.
Now, I always give my guests the final thought. What would you like to leave our credit union audience with today?
Figure out how you can be impactful to this industry. It may be in a small way, it may be in a big way, but worry about something other than your credit union.
Right.
You have to worry about the industry. We all get kind of in our boxes, so to speak. We've got to get out of the box, and we've got to start thinking cooperatively, as you just said, and for the industry.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Lee. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Sarah Snellcook. I'm your host for the Credit Union Connection. I'm here today with Dwayne Naylor. Welcome. He's the CEO at Local Government Federal Credit Union in North Carolina. Tell us a little bit about your credit unions and your background.
Okay. My background, I've been with credit unions for 40-ish years, and started with state employees, worked at local government, went to Virginia, and was executive vice president at Langley, then came back to local government, and I've been there 12 years. In that time, we started a new credit union from scratch. We chartered it. Local government basically started Civic Federal Credit Union, and we built a very advanced infrastructure, honestly, in preparation to take local government independent at some point. And we didn't know what time that was going to be, but the board decided about 2.5 years ago that we were going to be independent of state employees. And the relationship with state employees goes back 42 years, where it supported the banking lobbyists challenged state employees and said local government's not in your field of membership. And so they were going to kick out about 3,000 members at the time.
Wow.
And so there was an innovation where state employees worked with North Carolina local government and chartered a separate credit union, local government credit union. And then they were able to serve the front and back office, but it was a separate credit union, separate board, and also separate strategy. So fast forward to around 2013, state employees at the time said they were not going to serve organization or business accounts. And that was very important to us because we had fire lending and served local government units. And so at that point, the board said, let's find a solution where we can serve our members directly and give them services they've been asking for, advanced technology systems. And so there was an innovation again. So instead of kicking out about 1,000 members from local government federal credit union, local government started Civic and charged the same fee that state employees have charged. So it was showing that cooperatives continued to innovate. And so we were able to launch the most robust future-focused financial institution and gain internal competencies. And state employees gave us about 3 years to get the charter, which is another time that they helped because they already stopped serving the business and organization accounts. And so that 3 years was critical because chartering process with NCWIC. So we chartered a separate credit union to make sure we didn't have channel conflict at state employees. So it's very complex, but basically what happened, 1983, local government was getting kicked out of state employees. There was an innovation to start local government credit union that has now grown to over 400,000 members and $4 billion in assets. And now in 2013, local government innovated and chartered another credit union to serve the same field of membership, local government, not knowing when we would go to independence. And so that grew to about 8,000 members and about 125 million in assets. So now here we are heading into June 1st, and state employees, we've been working with them and their board for about 2.5 years. We're on our 4th data cut, which means we're almost ready for the deconversion, they call it. And so all 400,000 members are going to go into the 11 branches we built last year. And then they're going to see the automated services where they can do things online and connect in a very advanced way. So it's a major transformation for our members. But the coolest thing is that state employees, executive management, and our boards came together because we are volunteer-led. This is not a CEO making decisions, right? It is our boards came together and our board said we are going to be independent and we're going to leave at this period. And the state employees board said, absolutely, we support you 150%. So all that help and hundreds of people working on each side, and their 278 branches have members going in there. So we've been working with them very closely for the independence. The great thing is we're not the first one because Latino Credit Union started 20 years ago. And Latino went independent last September. And so their whole credit union moved over onto their infrastructure, and then we are the second one. And so the coolest thing about cooperatives helping cooperatives is state employees rather than kick out people and not give the give membership, between Latino Credit Union and Local Government Credit Union, that innovation with state employees is serving over 550,000 members, mostly in North Carolina. Hugely innovative, and now they're helping us to independence, which means they're losing income and things. And so I had a business person say, why in the world do state employees do that? And I say it's because cooperatives helping cooperatives.
Yeah, it's not for profit.
It is not for profit, and Lee Brady, the CEO, we're very close friends, has put a challenge forward for us to pay it forward. And so we are helping other credit unions and things as we're heading to independence. We always have some type of partnership and working. Our boards, again, have dinner. We're having dinner in 2 weeks. It is an amazing story that really hasn't been told in the credit union space. And the wonderful thing about it is now we're paying for, because like the National Association of Latino Credit Unions and Professionals, we are giving them free space in our headquarters. And then they're going to have their national headquarters in our space.
Nice.
And we're dedicating that. We're very excited about that. And we've done some IT and lending and things like that before. So a lot of people don't understand, and there's about 2 other credit unions that state employees serves. So it's a remarkable story about state employees over the last 42 years has served our members in a loving and innovative way. And then we can now serve our members. We've grown scale, competencies. It's a different model, but that, I don't think there's another credit union in the industry that has ever had this type of impact of growing out credit unions rather than merging them in.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing story, and we're trying to tell that now, not only because we're going independence. It's just that sometimes the press will pick up other things, but this is a remarkable story of volunteer board leadership, and it wasn't about CEOs. It was about the boards coming together and say, this is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it.
It seems like, and people often talk about, that cooperation isn't still going on with credit unions the same way it used to be. So I think this is an excellent model, like you said, instead of merging in these smaller credit unions, growing more.
Yes.
How do you, are you sharing this information with anybody, or would you be willing to share this information with anybody about how it happened? And
absolutely, and it's interesting. In North Carolina, we have tried to get the general press to be able to tell the story, and no one will pick it up. They only pick up.
They probably don't get it.
The things that aren't very positive. But
right.
No, I think for us, it's very important to tell the story now. Because we are getting ready to birth into independence, and we have been working towards this diligently for about 25 years. But no, we want to get on the rooftops and yell out, because there's not a business advantage to state employees. But the volunteer board said, this is how we're going to serve our members, and we're going to serve them better than anybody else. State employees have set a very high bar on service. And so that's good, because it'll force us to create an experience that the members do not have now. But no, I think this is one of the most powerful stories, because there's a Greater Kinston Credit Union and a North Carolina Press Credit Union they're still serving. So that is 4 credit unions. 2 will be independent, and the 2 others. And I think they may have the strategy of serving other credit unions. I'm not certain. Lee can help you with that. But no, it's an incredible story that I think that we're in a position that we can really bring light to it as an opportunity for the industry, for other people to step up.
Hopefully, Put some peer pressure on them.
That's right. That's right.
Because, one of the issues that we have today is all the mergers of small credit unions, as we mentioned before. And really, it's those small credit unions. It's not that large credit unions don't serve their members well, although I'm sure some don't. Same with small credit unions. But it's those small credit unions that will go into this empty area where there's 500 people in this county, but they'll go serve them the best that they can. And in the way they know the member wants it. So,
and give that member respect that they don't have. Now, in our new model, we're challenging the typical branch location because we study global, but we have impact local. And I've been in Bangladesh and seen homeless people with a phone, because in Bangladesh to go a mile it takes about an hour and a half. So they're able to reach in, since the world is changing, And now that's going to be a big shift for our members, but they understand that they literally have us in their pocket, right? I mean, they can look at us, we can fill out everything for them. So it's a little bit different where we don't have to have a branch everywhere. For our model for the independent local government credit union, which is going to be named Civic, it's a whole nother story. 2 syllables, not 26. The whole thing is we're going to be teaching our members that we're right with you all the time, and instead of building maybe a $10 million branch, we're hiring people and relationships to connect with our members. So it's a big change for them, but we know that we're going to take care of them with our hearts. Our local government field of membership is just servant leaders that serve the community in a million different ways. We're values-based. That means people for profit, matches credit unions, right?
Yep.
Planet and sustainability is critically important to our membership as well. And then prosperity, that is everyone who touches our organization, including our partners and vendors, have to benefit from being a part of us doing good, right? And so it's a much different environment than many, but it matches our membership very well. So we'll challenge that you have to have a branch. It's really a relationship center. And that'll be a big change for our members, right? Because they got 278 branches.
Right.
Now, if state employees got a 90-year start on us, and 290 branches for community centers would be great. But they have Latino and local government being independent of state employees will allow state employees to move very fast. And so watch for great things from them.
Awesome.
Well.
I get to talk to Lee tomorrow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She's incredible, and I give her a hard time, but we meet a lot. Our executive teams are close, our boards are close, and that's the beauty of it. That's true cooperatives helping cooperatives.
Yeah.
Because that could have been much different with any other organization.
Yeah.
So,
as I always do, I'm going to give my guests the final thoughts. How do you want to close out this interview today?
So we're in Washington, D.C., and we're talking about threats. We're talking about things we've talked about in the past, taxation, consolidation of regulators, all these things. I just think in what perceived as the darkest time is the opportunity where credit unions make the biggest difference.
Usually, yeah.
So when we were talking about, hey, they can lose Medicare, they can lose Social Security, then we're going straight back to the 1930s where credit unions were most relevant.
Yes.
So we have got to be the light in the storm, right? With all the negativity, we've got to come together like we never have, cooperatives helping cooperatives, because that collective action of our will bring us back to the core of who we are, and we will change lives like we never have before.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dwayne,
for
talking with me today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.